Welcome back to our US history course. Today, we're diving into the 1600s, when European nations began establishing colonies in the Americas, shaping the future of this continent. This week, we'll explore colonization of the Americas between 1600 and 1650, focusing on the Spanish, French, Dutch, and English settlements. As European powers crossed the Atlantic, they didn't just seek new lands. They sought wealth, influence, and trade opportunities. Spain, already powerful from its conquests in Central and South America, expanded northward. The French, meanwhile, focused on the fur trade in Canada. The Dutch carved out their own colonies, especially around modern-day New York, while England began laying the foundations for its own empire along the eastern seaboard of what would become the United States. However, colonization wasn't just about European expansion. Each colonial power interacted with indigenous populations in different ways. Some formed alliances and trade partnerships, while others, sadly, introduced violence and exploitation. These encounters forever altered the lives of indigenous peoples across the Americas. To guide your research and understanding this week, I want you to focus on these three major questions. 1. How did each European power, Spain, France, the Netherlands, and England, approach colonization in the Americas, and what were their key motivations? 2. How did their interactions with indigenous populations differ? And what were the long-term impacts on both sides? 3. What economic activities were central to the development of these colonies? And how did they shape the regions? To fully understand this period, I suggest exploring the following topics. Colonial settlements. Look into key colonies like Jamestown for the English, New Amsterdam for the Dutch, and Quebec for the French. Pay attention to the details of the architecture and natural environment, like the textures of the wooden buildings and the surrounding forests or rivers. Think about what made these settlements successful, or not. Indigenous relationships, research. How indigenous tribes responded to colonization. Were there alliances, like the one between the French and the Huron, or conflicts, like those between the Spanish and various indigenous groups in the Southwest? Focus on realistic portrayals of people, their clothing, and the landscapes they inhabited. Economics and trade. Focus on the driving economic forces. For instance, how did the fur trade shape French colonial life? How did the plantation system take root in the English colonies? And what role did resources like silver play for the Spanish? Make sure your visuals include realistic depictions of the trade items and natural surroundings. Remember, your goal this week is to do really thorough research so you can produce great content for your technology projects. Whether it's a blog post or another medias, you'll need to understand the history and how colonization impacted both the settlers and indigenous populations. The more details you uncover, the better you can bring this complex time period to life. That's it for this week. Colonization was a pivotal period in shaping the Americas, and I can't wait to see how you bring this history to life through your projects. Good luck, and I'll see you next time.